moment, I would like to welcome Amonaat Houston. She is, in 11th grade. She goes to Davidson, and she's a very artsy girl. So, Amonaat, you can come speak.
Raise your hand if you never really thought about homelessness before. Well, I never thought about being homeless until my 9th grade year, and all of my possessions were in boxes and containers, and we had nowhere to go. Since elementary school, we had lived with my abusive stepdad, and while he abused my mom physically, he abused all of us, including himself, emotionally and mentally. So home just didn't feel homey anymore. When I got to middle school, I was accepted to Davidson, but I stopped caring about school. I became depressed, and a few times I actually considered running away from home. But it wasn't until my 8th grade year that my mom made a decision for all three of us, my sister, her, and I, for us to move out and start a new home. And I was so happy. We moved into a 2-bedroom apartment with my mom's friend, and it was nice, it was happy. It felt comfortable knowing that there wasn't a person of negativity trying to harm us and ruin this family unit that we were trying to create. But after a couple months, the same negativity, the same fighting, the same abuse was coming back into the household. So my mom made yet another brave decision for us to pack up once again and move out. But this time there was no apartment, there was no house, and we were homeless. Luckily, there was a program that accepted us, which is Family Promise, and I thank them so much because honestly, I didn't know where we were gonna be. But even though I was having support from my family from this program, I didn't talk about my homelessness. I kept it a secret from my friends. I was afraid that they were gonna see my homelessness as helplessness. I was afraid they were gonna think that my mom was irresponsible or that my family didn't care about me. But that obviously wasn't true. But I kept it a secret, and I created a facade that I was happy and everything was good at home. And I was constantly paranoid, and I was nervous that someone was gonna find out that I was homeless. And I just kept reminding myself that we were homeless because we wanted to get away from the abuse and have a happy home. But that didn't really separate me from being homeless. So I was in the program for a couple months, and we finally got our own home. And even though it's kind of embarrassing to say, but I was so happy that I actually started crying. And we had our own home. It's just the three of us, my little sister, my mom, and I, and we finally had this home, this family unit that I haven't felt in like 16 years. And even though I was happy and we had a home, I still didn't tell anyone about me being homeless. I was trying to not think about it too much, denying the reality that I went through this. But when I finally decided to talk about it, it wasn't until my 11th grade year, which is the year that I'm currently in, that I was able to even say anything about it. That day, we had to talk about the ups and downs of our lives. I talked about my favorite dog, Mike Mac, that I had in elementary school, and the birth of my 9-year-old sister. But then I talked about me not living with my mom for a year, my abusive stepdad, and being homeless. And to my surprise, there was like 4 other kids who had the same situation, who were homeless as well. And all that loneliness, that self-inflicted loneliness that I had put upon myself was shattered. And I felt supported, and I felt like, why didn't I just speak about it sooner? Why didn't I say anything while I was homeless? Then I wouldn't have to feel so lonely. But I was able to talk about it. And I'm glad that I did, because now the world is so small and there's too many people for us to feel like we're alone. And I'm glad there's being awareness spread around about it, because I never thought about it when I was younger. Never thought I'd be in that situation. I was so embarrassed. But there's nothing to be embarrassed about. Some things have to happen for you to get through life. And I'm glad that we were homeless because now I feel closer to my family than I ever did before. So I thank you all for listening.
So I'm gonna try not to cry. That is the reason why we do what we do at Family Promise, to help others. It's not always about yourself. God tells us to help the least of those. And that's what we do day in and day out, to help those in need. So if you know someone that is homeless, don't pick at them. Don't judge them, help them. There's ways you can help. If Family Promise come to your church and they're hosting for a week, come and spend time with those people. Get to know who they are. They're a person. They're people just like you. They just want to be loved. They just want somebody to encourage and help them through their trials and tribulation that they're going through in life. And this is why we do what we do. This is why we exist. This is why God placed, I feel like, me on this earth to help those in need. I thank you so much just for coming tonight.